Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Here's the first pitch. Hot shot. High fly ball. Deep right field. And this one is gone. A moonshot by Patrick Sullivan. And a hanging ball over the plate skies this one deep to right field. A 3-run homer in his debut, Patrick Sullivan.
And now we'll take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Long hold, exhales, the 0-2. Hot shot past the diving second baseman Ricciardi. Another RBI single. They're going to round the next runner, and there will be no throw. A 2 RBI single by Brian McHale, and the game has been flipped for the momentum, and now the Suns lead it by a score of 5-2.
And now, here are your hosts for Pittsfield Suns baseball: Billy Madewell, Steve O'Brien, and Colin Quinn.
A hearty hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts for the Centennial. It's opening day for the Pittsfield Suns in the Futures Collegiate Baseball League of New England. Hello once again, everyone. My name is Billy Madewell. Extremely glad to be back. Proud to be here. 8th season of Pittsfield Suns baseball. However, this year it's a little bit different. Alongside me is a new tandem of color commentators. First, let me introduce to you to Steve O'Brien.
How's it going, Billy?
It is going fantastic. It is another great season. You are definitely not going to want to miss out on any of this. Also joining the booth and rounding out the 3-man broadcast, Colin Quinn.
Billy, thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here. Can't wait to watch some Suns baseball all summer long.
It will be a joy without any shade of a doubt. Yes, there's pun number 1 with a Suns joke already. We haven't even begun the contest, guys. We're already starting with the jokes. We have a great game on tap and a great story for this game on tap. But first, coming up next, we're going to give you a look into the 2019 season with a recap of last year, the 2018 season. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone?
Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. As we get ready for today's action, we are going to give you a summary of the 2018 postseason and then go in depth on each team from last year going into this year. The postseason started with the number 3 Bristol Blues defeating the number 6 seed Pittsfield Suns. How coincidental that is this exact same matchup we are going to see today. Also, the number 4 seed, the Brockton Rocks, defeated the number 5 seed, the Nashua Silver Knights. The semifinals consisted of the number 4 seed Brockton Rocks getting edged out by the number 1 seed in the league, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, 2-1 in a sudden death Game 3, and also the number 2 seed Worcester Bravehearts sweeping the Bristol Blues 2-0. The 2018 FCBL Championship started with Worcester winning Game 1 on the road in Martha's Vineyard. Game 2 getting postponed due to weather. Game 3 being won by the Sharks on the road. Then the makeup game for Game 2 was permanently suspended due to rain and due to scheduling conflict with the ballpark. So it was determined by the FCBL that they would crown both teams as FCBL co-champions. Now going into this season, let's give you a preview of each team, starting with the Bristol Blues, the visiting team tonight. They come into the season off a 3-seed, 29-23 2018 campaign. They got there by their solid offense, great fielding, and good pitching. They batted .258 as a team, good for 3rd in the league. Threw for a team ERA of .440, that's 4th in the league. And they had the 2nd best fielding percentage in the FCBL at a rate of .967. The Brockton Rocks, they had a solid offensive core. Unfortunately, they did have some subpar pitching. They also had some all right fielding. They had .259, which is 3rd in the league, had a .561 ERA, which was 2nd worst, and a fielding percentage of .957, which was 4th in the league. The Nashua Silver Knights, their saving grace was their great pitching. They went 5th in the league at a .252 batting average. They were last in fielding percentage at .951, but they were 2nd in the league in team ERA at .388. The North Shore Navigators, they missed the playoffs. The only team to miss the playoffs last season, but they had the best fielding percentage in the league. They batted 6th in the league at .252, worst in the league in ERA at .574. Fielding, again, great, .972, only 53 combined errors, best in the FCBL in 2018. The brand new team in the FCBL, the Westfield Starfires, as a brand new franchise, they are going to need to learn this. They're going to have to live by this one simple quote: if you aren't getting better, you're getting worse. There is no treading water in this league. The amount of sheer talent in this league, there's no need to worry about things early on and jumping out of the gate extremely early. They need to focus on just improving continuously throughout the season. If you're treading, you're getting worse. If you're getting worse, again, also, you're getting worse. Now, also, they're the closest team to the Suns in the FCBL, so expect this rivalry to heat up quickly and sustain not a simmer, not a slow burn, but some high heat between these two teams during the season. The Worcester Bravehearts, the 2018 FCBL co-champions, did very well, as they have always been practically since 2014 their arrival in the FCBL. Best hitting team in the league, best throwing team in the league, had a team hitting average of .298, ERA .344. Their only weakness, well, if you want to call it that, was their somewhat league average, fielding at .955, which was 5th in the league. That was their only weakness last year. And finally, the Pittsfield Suns. They were the 6th seed last season, and they were ousted in the wild card round, as we talked about, by these very same Bristol Blues. They need to get better in every category. They were the worst hitting team in the league at .246. They were 5th in ERA at .459, and they placed 2nd to last in fielding percentage at .955, a fraction of a fraction behind Worcester, who was the number 4 spot. Couple changes. It's a brand new team. We've already talked about the aforementioned Westfield Starfires. They're joining the fray in the FCBL, replacing the Sharks. Following the structure of the 2018 regular season, games that are tied after 10 innings will be decided by a home run hitting contest that will take 3 rounds. A home run derby will determine a win or loss straight up, period. Also, the same 16 format of playoffs. Seeds 1 and 2 get an automatic qualifier to the semifinals. The next 4 teams, the next best overall records. Winner take all wildcard games, 3 hosting the 6, 4 hosting the 5. Round 2 is 1 hosting the worst seed, 2 hosting the best remaining seed. And the FCBL Championship will be a 3-game series, as well as the semifinals between those 2 winners of the semifinal rounds. The 2019 FCBL All-Star Game and Scout Day is going to be hosted by the Centennial celebrating Pittsfield Suns right here at Paul Dowd Field at Wauconah Park. That will take place on Tuesday, July 16th. Well, that was a mouthful, and that was your recap of last year. When we come back, we'll be bringing you an interview with head coach for the Pittsfield Suns, Matt Gedman. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone?
Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Standing here, or rather sitting right here with Matt Gedman, skipper for the Pittsfield Suns. Gaddy, how's it going?
Good, Billy. How you doing, man?
Doing all right. Another year, another Pittsfield Suns season. Now, there is a brand new roster, as it always seems to be here with summer college ball, but also a couple of returning players. What is your first opinion of the roster as we see it today?
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we put together a roster that's kind of got a good mix of guys with power line, guys with speed, defensive guys. Our arms looking pretty good. They had some good years at school. It's always interesting once you get out here to see what you got firsthand. You can only follow them really from a distance throughout the spring. So once we get the whole group together, I'm really excited for now. We're going to have 11 guys that aren't here yet, whether they're in regionals or College World Series for Division III, some high school guys waiting for the draft. So right now, I still think we got enough to be pretty good early on, and then things will kind of shake together, the next couple of weeks.
Now, this 2019 squad, looking at it on paper, it's something that it has been since about 2013. It's an experienced squad. It's practically split half and half between upperclassmen and underclassmen, with the majority of the squad going into their junior seasons this fall. Do you feel that experience for the team is going to help carry this team forward?
Yeah, I hope so. It's the more experience they have through college, guys for the most part tend to improve as their college experience goes on. So you have guys who've had played some full seasons under the belt. They're kind of used to the grind, the wear and tear of the summer ball, and they kind of embrace it at times. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to keeping guys healthy throughout the year and having a whole group here at the end.
Now, the Suns, looking back last year, not the greatest year statistically, last in team batting average, 5th in ERA, and 6th in fielding percentage. What changes do you feel have to be made in order to improve those stats?
I think it's just a group-to-group thing. Guys show up for early work. They get their work in. Talent is talent. I always like to say it's more about the Jakes and Joes and the X's and O's. So if you have guys that can play, it's the stats will speak for themselves at the end of the year. And guys who want to put work in will put work in and continue to improve throughout the summer. So a whole new group. I enjoyed last year's group to be around. Stat-wise, I didn't really look into it that much. So hopefully, guys just show up, have a good time, put their work in, and at the end of the year, we'll be where we want to be.
Jackson Joe's, not X's and O's. That is a fantastic quote, first off. Now, you did retain the same coaching staff as last year. Chris Barbarata, the hitting coach, Brandon Shalikas, who's in the clubhouse right now as the pitching coach. How valuable are those two for your coaching tactics?
It's huge having both of them here. Barb's I've been around him for a long time. I live at his house during the summer. His family's been great to me. His sister, I lived with her a couple of years ago. So just to have the comfortability of him, he's been outstanding. I really enjoy his presence. I really enjoy him being here. He'll come up to us during the games and, say stuff that he sees, but he doesn't, overbear it. So he'll get a suggestion here and there. He's a great baseball guy. Sheik it's his second year back here. He's been looking to continue to play. I almost borderline begging him to come back. Having him with me is awesome. He works really with the pitchers. The guys who seek him out have had tons of games throughout the summer, tons of success. Brian Johnson last year we talked about, he was 86, 87. He put the work in on his own. He put the work in with Sheik, and at some point in January he was up to 93, 94. He should get drafted this year. Should get a chance to throw. Another guy I can think of is Joey Rogers last year. So the work he did with the starting pitchers last year, those guys stayed the whole summer. They're healthy the whole summer. He's invaluable in terms of making lineups, helping with the day-to-day stuff we have here, throwing BP every day, hitting fungo. So, like I said, I'm glad he's back, and hopefully he gets a chance to continue throwing professionally in his career. But for the meantime, I'm happy he's here.
Now, looking back at last year, because it does play a story into today, the Suns coming off a 60 performance and a first-round exit against the team that you're facing today, the Bristol Blues. I understand that you did say it's a squad-to-squad thing, but is there anything from last year that you may think will carry over to this matchup because it is the team that you faced last?
If I'm being 100% honest, I understand the storyline of it, but no. I know in the media part of it, you want to have a build-up to it, but it's kind of a new year, new group. Ronnie Palmer's their manager. He's a familiar face in terms of just checking in with him, seeing how he's doing. That's more how it is. And then in a small league of 7 teams, kind of rivalries kind of build up throughout the course of the year. In terms of guy gets thrown at, there's some chirping going back and forth. So that kind of develops as it goes on. The fact that they were the 3 seed last year and beat us in the first round, it is what it is, and it's over with, and they were the better team last year. So we're just trying to have a good start to the year, and really there's no grudge match going on tonight.
No grudge match, fresh start. Matt Gedman, Getty, skipper for the Pittsfield Suns. Thank you for your time. Good luck out tonight, and happy opening day.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days? Using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham Radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about Ham Radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham Radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney on behalf of RAD. If you're drinking, you can't drive my car or any car. Remember, if you're partying this holiday season, don't drink and drive. Got it? It's just not worth it. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Well, we have a quick minute in between another interview we are going to give you. Why don't we give you what's going on here in the 2019 season? Colin, what happened roughly yesterday?
Well, Billy, thanks so much. As we look around the league from last night, only one of two games played last night. It was the Brockton Rocks who were victorious in the season opener, taking it from the Nashua Silver Knights by a score of 9-6, spoiling the home opener for the Silver Knights. The newest team to the Futures League, the Westfield Starfires, were rained out last night in Bristol against these very same Bristol Blues that the Pittsfield Suns will see tonight. That game will be made up on June 1st in Bristol. Game number 1 will start at 3 p.m. As for tonight, 3 games are on the schedule, which include the Suns taking on the Blues at 6:30, as well as the Silver Knights traveling to Worcester to take on the Bravehearts, and the North Shore Navigators kick off their 2019 campaign on the road to take on the Brockton Rocks.
Which means that the one team that is not playing today and one team that has yet to play a game, of course, is the new team. And how about this? They get somewhat, you can call it this, a lucky break, because now they have a full-fledged home opener tomorrow against this squad, the Pittsfield Suns. How fitting is that?
It's very exciting. I mean, they're ready to go. Obviously, they want to get out on the field and show their city what they're made of, and they get an opportunity to open their season right away at home. So they're definitely excited. I know that for a fact, but I know this Pittsfield Suns team is going to come ready after this game right over to Westfield tomorrow, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Thank you for the in-depth analysis on that. What we're going to do is we are going to be right back, but first, I'm going to play a few PSAs. When we come back, we are going to have an interview with 2018 outfielder, 2019 bench coach, Chad Shay. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
All right, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. I'm standing here now with, surprise, surprise, he's a bench coach this year, former outfielder for the Suns, Chad Shay. Chad, welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be back. Looking forward to the summer.
Now, it is unfortunately the reason why you are a bench coach, but I'm sure that you're going to embrace it nonetheless. An injury to the leg during football season. Did you win? How is the leg, first off?
Yeah, the leg's doing good. It's healed from the break in the fall. Working on a hamstring now that kind of came off of the break, and it's probably about 85% right now, but it's doing good, and it's definitely getting closer to 100% day by day.
Well, first, let me say this. 85% you could still steal bases in this league because of last year on stats. I'm not just trying to stroke an ego here. I'm just stating a fact here. Now, you are seeing a Bristol Blues team from last year. You were a player. That is a team that eliminated the Suns. Now, with that being said, what is your first thought process looking back on last year, now to this year, looking at a brand new squad that you're actually coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some guys coming back from last year, good ball players, and I know some other guys that are coming in this year that I know, like one of them being Jack Cooney, who's another kid that I've played with for my whole life from Pittsfield, Springfield baseball player. And they got a lot of good new talent for the team, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what they can do. And hopefully, as you said, Bristol beat us last year in the playoffs, so hopefully we can start the season off right with a win today.
Starting off with a win, but first, again, going back to your new role, you are no longer an outfielder, not a player, not for this season at least, but you are a bench coach. What obstacles do you think you're going to have to overcome in terms of being a coach, representing the team, but also building these other players up as opposed to actually playing yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a different role for me, and I kind of experienced that a little bit while I was at school and able to play. And I hope to contribute to the team in a different aspect, and hopefully just if the guys need anything or if Getty needs anything from me, just being able to be there, be supportive, and just help this team win in any way possible.
Bench coach, not outfielder, bench coach, but soon to be player long enough. Chad Shay, welcome back. Good luck. Happy opening day, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. As we get set for today's action, we're going to give you now the starting lineup. We are going to go for the visiting Bristol Blues first. Why don't we hand this off to Steve with that announcement there?
Thank you very much, Billy. Your Bristol Blues starting lineup for today. Batting first, number 7, the right fielder, Austin White. In the 2 spot, number 2, Christian Beal, the center fielder. In the 3 spot, number 12, Dylan Reynolds. He's the DH for today. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 34, Casey Bass. Batting in the 5th spot, number 10, the second baseman, Danny Roth. In the 6th spot, number 5, Anthony D'Onofrio, the third baseman. Batting 7th, Nolan Cloutier, number 4, the left fielder. Batting 8th, number 32, Jordan Lasky's the catcher. And batting 9th, rounding out the order, number 47, Brogan Searle Bellinger, the shortstop.
And on the mound, as we previously saw, is number 22, Jack Moore. For Jack Moore, he is a baseball player. And I mean that in every sense of the word baseball player. He is an absolute gunner, and he has some breaking pitches that work as well. Now we're going to give you the starting lineup for your Pittsfield Suns.
Thank you very much, Billy. Batting first for the Suns on this fine afternoon, number 5, Nathaniel Cormier. He's the shortstop. Batting second, number 18, Jeffrey Bogus, the left fielder. Number 27, Matt Malcolm, the DH, will bat third. Number 21, Jack Colley, the third baseman, batting fourth. Number 19, Dan Baruch, the first baseman, batting fifth. In the 6th spot, number 8, Andrew Fernandez, the catcher. Batting 7th, the right fielder, number 2, Kyle Cronk. Batting 8th, number 23, Mark Coley, the second baseman. And rounding out the order in center field, number 7, Jack Cooney, with number 41, Alex Price, on the mound for the Suns.
Alex Price listed as the opening day starter and ace of staff, at least for the time being, for Matt Gedman. He wants to get some feelers out here for Alex Price. And for Alex Price, as you look at him on his line, he's a true lefty, 6'2", 185, soon to be sophomore at Middlebury College, resides in Ridgefield, Connecticut. He's going for a major of environmental economics. He's got a fastball that goes around 87 miles an hour. He's got a circle change, slider, and curveball to boot. And right now we look at home plate, at least we do on this webcam. Looking at home plate, behind home plate, where the mask in his left hand, that is Mark Irish. He will be calling balls and strikes here today. On the bases is John Nevis. In the right-handed batter's box is Pittsfield Suns skipper Matt Gedman. And the left-handed batter's box, Ronnie Palmer. Now, this is going to be a full-fledged toe-to-toe opening day game where you guys are going to see a lot of action between these two, a lot of competition. Sure, the squads aren't completed yet because we've already mentioned that some of the players are still in the postseason, College World Series, etc. So we will be seeing a lot happening for today, especially players that want to prove themselves. So getting a first inclination, we'll start with you, Colin. What is your first inclination looking at these teams top to bottom?
Well, both teams, as we heard from the Pittsfield Suns manager, a lot of power, a lot of speed, a lot of good defense for the Suns. Really looking forward to seeing the Blues as well with a lot of the same on that aspect. Defeating the Pittsfield Suns last season in the playoffs is a lot, and we'll see where it goes, but this is just game one for both teams. As I mentioned, the Blues were rained out against the Starfires last night. So we'll get the opening day jitters out of the way right away, and we'll see where time takes us over the summer.
Are you talking about us or the players?
I mean, a little bit of both, I think.
All right. Now turning to my left, Steve, your opinion and your look through of this entire roster, both teams.
Well, going back to what you said earlier, Billy, in your interview with Getty, I think experience is going to be a huge asset for the Suns this year. Just been doing some research on the team and on the players therein before the season started. It's obvious that these guys have played a little bit. These guys, a lot of these players coming into this year 30, 40, maybe even 50 games in their last, most recent seasons at college. And like you guys were saying, I believe that this could be a bit of a rivalry game today. Getty, of course, saying that, last year was last year, the different teams, the Blues knocking the Pittsfield Suns out of the playoffs doesn't necessarily resonate with them, but it resonates with us. It resonates with the fans here at the ballpark. I could easily see this becoming a rivalry game, a revenge game, if you will, for these Suns.
All right. Currently, right now, as you see, the players are being announced on the field. So in a way for us to, I'm going to put it in layman's terms, we're stalling for time while they get everything full-fledged and going. This is very interesting. We had no practice building up to this. I know that this has been my 9th season here in the booth at Wacona Park. Well, the Suns have been here for 8 seasons. But for you two, this is your first season, and we're all new to each other. We do not know chemistry. We don't know anything. But I think at this point, I really think everything's perfectly fine, if I don't say so myself.
Hey, let's not jinx anything right now. It's only opening day.
Hey, I'm knocking on wood. You can hear that in the mic? Yes, you can.
There you go.
I'll do it too.
But yeah, really exciting opening day. Clouds are above, but saw some sun earlier, some raindrops maybe appeared a little bit.
Yeah, we are going to maybe get some rain, but again, the full-fledged staff here from the Pittsfield Suns, from new general manager Michael Lieberman, his wife, head of concessions, Cindy Lieberman. You have people such as the team president, Kristen Huss, did a fine job as a general manager, now team president. You have Jeff and Marv Goldkling, owners of the Pittsfield Suns and members of the Goldkling Group. So we are going to listen in live. You've been listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show. We're going to listen in live to on-field festivities. Thank you so much for listening.
John Clayton. From Pasco Hernando State College, Andrew Clark. From Thompson College, Henry Lee. Also, from Thompson College, Mike Milkey. From St. Mary's College, Milton Briones. From Princeton University, Taylor Beckett. From Pasco Hernando State, Connor Berry. From Thompson College, Matt Valenti. From Northeastern University, Ryan Simone. From Oklahoma State University, Bryce Osmond. Also from Oklahoma State, Caden Trimble. From Pensacola State College, Jack Kolovic. From Florida Southern College, Ryan Langford. From Paul B. Camp Community College, Michael Portella. From Ingles College, Brody Altier. From Southern Connecticut State, Jared Henry. From the University of Pennsylvania, Jackson Peterson. From Wesleyan University, Kelvin Sosa. From the University of Rhode Island, John Morrison. From Fitchburg State University, Sean Gamelin. From Broward College, Austin Janeo. Also from Goddard, Jake Pilgros. From College of the Holy Cross, Matt Larkin. From Framingham State, Josh Jesuit. From Kansas State University, Tom Hughes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the starting lineup for the 2019 Pittsfield Suns. Pitching coach Brandon Shalikas and bench coach Chad Shay. Leading off, shortstop from Nichols College, number 5, Nate Cormier. University, number 18, Jeff Vargas. Tonight's designated hitter from Eastern Connecticut State, number 27, Matt Gedman. And fourth, the third baseman from Roberts College, number 21, Jeff Pauley. And fifth, from Boston College, the first baseman, number 19, Dan Baruch. The catcher from Howard College, number 8, Andrew Fernandez. The right field of the University of Pennsylvania, number 2, Kyle Cronk. At second base of the University of Rhode Island, number 23, Mark Corley. At center field from Springfield College, number 7, Jack Cooney. And starting pitcher from Middlebury College, number 41, Alex Price. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats while we honor America. Here, to perform tonight's national anthem, please welcome Elsie Felicio.
The lineups have been announced. The national anthem has been sung beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Pittsfield Suns opening day. One more time, very quickly, we're going to go with a starting lineup expressway for the visiting Bristol Blues.
For the Bristol Blues, leading off Austin White, the right fielder. Second batting, the center fielder, Christian Beal. Dylan Reynolds in the 3 spot as the DH. Casey Bass, the first baseman, in the 4 spot. Danny Roth, the second baseman, in the 5 spot. Batting 6th, Anthony D'Onofrio, the third baseman. Batting 7th, Nolan Cloutier, the left fielder. Jordan Last, the catcher, batting 8th. And Brogan Searle Bellinger, batting 9th, the shortstop.
Right now, also with a defensive alignment, Colin.
Well, we got Price on the mound tonight, and Fernandez will be catching Cauley. Cormier, Coley, and Baruch are third to first. In the outfield is Bogus in left, Cooney in center, and Crunk is the right fielder for the opening day for the Pittsfield Suns.
Pittsfield Suns opening night, fireworks night, being presented by Pittsfield Cooperative Bank. And the Pittsfield Suns coming out in their home white uniforms. Black Suns embroidered with yellow on the front, red numbers on the left abdomen. Black numbers embroidered with yellow on the back as well. White pants with a yellow and black trim down the sides, a black cap, black brim, and the Suns P logo is on top. For the visiting Bristol Blues in their road gray uniforms, Blues logo in a hard blue, red numbers on their left abdomen, also blue numbers on the back. Gray pants with a blue trim down the side. They have a blue cap with a gray brim and the Bristol Blues logo on top. There's a throw to second, and we are going to just about set to start off the ball game with the right fielder, number 7, Austin White. For Austin White, he's a true lefty, 5'11", 170 pounds, soon to be sophomore at URI. Resident of Glastonbury, Connecticut. Setting in lefty versus lefty off the bat. The start of the 2019 season is a pitch just misses outside for a ball. And right now, ball game right on time, 6:30 p.m. So the count 1-0. And the pitch here from Price. That one's in there on the inner half for a called strike. Now 1-1.
White getting a feel out of the pitcher here. Price start off taking 2 pitches. First one is ball, second one in there for a strike.
Price now with the 1-1. This one does hit the outside corner. Beautiful location on the pitch from Price. Now quickly, he worked it back to himself, 1-2. Here's a windup from Price. Delivers. 1-2. This one is fouled off and will continue at a 1-2 stance. Brandon Shalikas out of the dugout, already making sure he's got his pitchers with signs. Now we have a scoreboard. Hooray. No, on the 1-2. This one is fisted foul. And the count remains 1-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on this one, going out to center field. Coming in is Cooney, and he will collect the grab for the first out collected by the Suns defense this season.
Pretty routine fly ball. Cooney settled underneath it. First out.
Didn't get a great break on it, but luckily hung up there long enough for him to get underneath it.
And now we dig in with the right-handed batting center fielder, number 2, Christian Beal. Beal is a true righty, 5'9", 165-pound junior out of Bates, as this one is jammed over to second, charging his Cooley, and he cannot handle it. He's going to flip that over to the pitcher. That one's going to go as an E4.
It's a tough play for Cooley. He had to charge that quite a bit. Didn't have a whole lot on it heading out to the second base side.
The DH, number 12, Dylan Reynolds, the lefty, will now dig in. As the first pitch to him is a bit low for a ball, 1-0. The runner does go. The pitch is in there for a called strike. Throw over to second is not in time, but the tag was there. That is going to go down as a called strike. A quick argument. The catch was made. The tag was applied, but bases umpire John Nevis ruling that one as safe over at second. It'll go down as a stolen base for Beal. It is a 1-1 count now with one gone. So the runner on second, one gone. Top of the first. Here's the pitch. That one holding the spot, but this one misses, we'll say high. Count now 2-1.
Interesting, the Blues getting going on the base pass early here. Second batter of the game already with stolen base.
No better time to test out the catcher than beginning of the season. 2-1. Going into left center field, charging is both outfielders, but it'll be the left fielder Bogus who was able to make the grab, throwing into third. No advancement there. So the runner will stay put. Now the first baseman, number 34, Casey Bass, will dig in. For Bass, batting left, throwing right. 6'3" frame, 235 pounds. University of Wisconsin stout, soon to be senior. Lefty versus lefty again. This one is fouled off the handle, and the count is 0-1.
Looked like he tied up Bass inside. It was a bit of an awkward swing.
And surprisingly made contact off it as well. A lean in here from Price. He will set from the stretch as he takes a peek over at second. And a failed pickoff. Or let's say step off of the bag. Price, a check of second, and the 0-1. This one jammed out into left. Routine fly to the outfield. And that one's easily caught by Bogus for the final out of the inning. So a lazy fly ball ends the inning with no runs, no hits, one error, and that man was left on base. We head through 1/2 inning to the bottom of the first. We're going to stay here, and we're going to give you once again the starting lineup for your hometown Pittsfield Suns.
All right, batting for the Suns, leading off this game and season, Nate Cormier, the shortstop. Batting second, Jeff Bogus, the left fielder. Batting third, Matt Malcolm, DH. Jack Hawley, the third baseman, will bat fourth. Dan Baruch, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Andrew Fernandez, the catcher, batting sixth. Kyle Kronk, the right fielder, will bat seventh. Mark Coley, the second baseman, is batting eighth. And rounding out the order, in the ninth spot, Jack Cooney, center fielder.
And a quick defensive alignment here for the visiting Bristol Blues as well.
On the mound is Mr. Moore, and last is the catching. And from third to first, we have D'Onofrio, Surreal, Bellinger, Roth, and Bass. And left to right is Cloutier, Beal, and White rounds out the lineup out in the outfield for the Bristol Blues.
The left fielder, Cloutier, familiar face here at Wacona Park as he was a member of the 2018 squad, Pittsfield Suns. He has decided to head over to Bristol, and he is going off against the very same team that he played for last summer in his first game as a Bristol Blue. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. We've already had a 1-2-4 inning, not a 1-2-3, or a 1-3-4 inning, excuse me. And Jack Moore on the mound. We've already mentioned him. Jack Moore is a true righty, 6', 275-pound frame junior out of Emory. Resides in Peachtree City, Georgia. If there is not a more fitting name for Georgia, I do not know what is, Steve.
That's pretty fantastic. It almost sounds like you made it up, but I believe you.
You don't have to believe me. Just believe the computer that's showing it right now. Well, the good news is we have everything set. We have our official score. We have everything set. We have our broadcasting tandem set. We have the Pittsfield Suns order set. We have the Bristol Blues order set. I don't think there could have been a better start to this ball game.
No, and it's been a beautiful day for it. Not too hot, not too cold. A little overcast. So not everybody's cup of tea, but from this perspective, in an all-metal broadcast booth, I think we lucked out today, boys.
It's still a good day for baseball.
That it is.
Leading off the shortstop, number 5, Nate Cormier. Mr. Cormier, true righty, 5'9", 175-pound junior out of Nichols College. He sees a first pitch. He wants to look at a pitch first. Count is 0-1. This one is slapped foul. First base side, Brandon Shalikas, the pitching coach for the Suns, who's over at first base. He lets that one roll on by. The count is 0-2. Moore with the windup. And the 0-2. This one is jammed over to first. Takes a weird hop. Eats up the first baseman. Throw over to first. Is still in time. Able to grab the footing there was Jack Moore. Not necessarily what you call a routine ground up, but a ground out nonetheless, Steve.
Well, it was a nice recovery. Nice recovery at first base by Casey Bass. Not often you see that kind of poise, especially here, in the early going first game of the season. He's able to maintain his composure and makes a quick flip to the pitcher for the out.
Now the left-handed hitting left fielder, number 18, Jeff Bogus. First pitch to him, a curveball, and this one misses low and inside. The count is 1-0. I must say, the Pittsfield Suns team, I'm so glad I'm able to get most of their names correct. The 1-0, this one is jammed foul third base side and out of play. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone. Readjusting there is Bogus. on the inside part of the batter's box. Here's the 1-1. This one is jammed back. Now 1-2 strikes. Still a great crowd that has come out with them, still piling in here at Wacona Park. Part of the centennial season at Wacona Park. The windup. Moore with a 1-2. Just missing low. Maybe a tad inside as well. Evens up the count. 2 strikes. With a quick pace is Moore. 2-2. Cut on and miss on the changeup. He made him bite. And that is the first strikeout of the ball game.
That was a nice off-speed pitch there by Moore. He fooled Bogus. Way out ahead of it.
Now the designated hitter, number 27, Matt Malcolm, will step up to the dish. And for Malcolm, starter as a freshman at ECSU, he batted .360. As this one is fouled off third base side. He batted .360, had 6 homers, 29 RBI, 43 runs, in 7 stolen bases.
I was just going to bring that up, Billy. Not something you often see or think of from a designated hitter.
He don't have catcher's legs. He is a catcher today, designated hitter. Who said anything about catcher's legs? Not this man. No, sir. The 0-1. That one he watches go low for a ball. 1 strike. 2 men gone. Top of the first. Rather, bottom of the first. Just getting underway for the 2019 season for the Pittsfield Suns. 1-1. That one is jammed foul, and that one is going to go out of play, out of the ballpark, back into the ballpark, and that will be a free souvenir for someone who wants to go grab that. Moore with the windup. The 1-2. This one, a slow roller over to third. Grabbed by D'Onofrio. Throw over to first. The stretch is there and in time. D'Onofrio, great job of playing the slow grass, the high grass. It went hard and quick, then it slowed right up. He was able to transition quite nicely. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody